Greetings, peace, and love. Hello, everybody watching this live, watching the replay. I am going to be on here as quickly as possible, and I'm going to go ahead and get right into it because I wasn't able to go live like I wanted to yesterday to talk about Unlock Your Magic because yesterday on the 24th was my mom's birthday. And we spent a wonderful day together. She and I and my daughter, and we just had a good time. So I went live to remind you all that the coupon code was expiring. But I'm actually going to extend that because I didn't get to go live like I wanted to. So I'm do y'all a favor and extend the coupon code. But for just a few moments, I actually want to, greetings. I actually want to speak very quickly about how to stop doing the most and getting the least out of life before I go into Unlock Your Magic. How to stop doing the most and getting the least. A lot of people, that is their habit. They do the most. They expend the most energy, the most time, the most money, doing the most, hoping that one day they will be happy, they will be successful, they will experience joy. And that's just not the way that it works. So before I go into it, for those of you who are just watching me for the first time, my name is Tonya Poole. I am a certified coach and consultant. I am the author of the book, The Magic of Self-Love. And I help people learn how to discover what I call their personal magic so that they can experience the happiness, joy, and personal fulfillment and really walk in their purpose like they desire and deserve. So one of the character traits that I find with a lot of my clients is not only the desire for inspiration or motivation, but the ability to actually be coached, to actually be trained, to want to learn. I have clients from younger people in their early 20s in college who want to learn how to not just be successful academically, but how to be more well-rounded in their happiness and to, not give themselves over to things that don't matter most in their lives. I have clients in the middle age and upper and up, who are like, hey, I have spent the bulk of my life doing things that I don't want to do or giving my energy in ways that I thought would have panned out better for me by this time, and they just haven't. Where do I go from here? I have people who are career people, family people, entrepreneurs, who are looking to expand their expertise, but really their ability to experience fullness of joy and happiness in their life and fulfillment, because that's why we work. There's a line in one of Lauryn Hill's songs, I can't remember which one, but I remember her saying, what are we working for, right? We put in all this work in life, we put in all this energy, all this money, all this time, and for what? It should reflect back to us. It should match, what we get back should match what we put in. And so one of the things I want to tell you or remind you, for those of you who have watched me for any length of time, is that you are the magic. You are the magic. You are the thing that makes the abundance, the joy, the success, the happiness, the fulfillment come to you. It's not something outside of you. It's already within you. Part of my business, one part of my business is just straight, on the coaching side with people who just have, specific goals or just want to overcome certain things in their life. And then there's a more spiritual side to my business that I offer to some clients who are open to it, which is more on the metaphysical side. For those of you who have watched me any length of time, I'm also an astrologer. I don't bring my astrology to all of my coaching. It depends on the client, but I am an astrologer. And what I have found is that people who are into or intrigued by that spiritual side, they just want some, not all, but some just want quick answers. They just want, to study their birth chart, their natal chart, just tell me who I am, but they don't necessarily do the greater work beyond that to master who they are, to train and to hone in on their own, what I call their personal magic, their talents, their gifts, their strengths, and to build on that through consistent personal development. There is no magic that will supersede your willingness and your commitment to your own personal development. I know that firsthand. In my own personal life, I have recognize, the more I recognize my own, what I call my own personal magic, the more opportunities open up to me, the more, you know, areas and opportunities where I'm able to create, but also to receive opportunities for joy, happiness, money, abundance, and so much more. Right. And so it has also helped me to be more consistent in my own personal development and to be able to let go of situations and relationships and even jobs that just were not a match to my own personal magic and to my personal and to my purpose in life. And so I want you to think of it like this. Have you ever lived in a house where you had the air conditioning on, like in the summer, or the heat on in the winter, and it's like no matter how high you turn it up, the house stays cold or hot. You know, you can't ever get it cool enough or hot enough to match, you know, for your satisfaction, right? And the heating, there's nothing wrong with the heating and air unit. The problem is the insulation in your house, right? The problem is you don't have the proper insulation around your windows. You got bad windows, or, you know, there's all these areas where that heating or that air is leaking out. And so then you have this huge electric bill, this huge heating and air bill, you know, and you're like, I didn't even get the satisfaction of it because, you know, I'm paying all this money for heating and air, but I was still hot when I should have been cool, and I was still too cool when I should have been warm in the winter. So what am I paying for, right? And that's what life is for a lot of people. It's like putting in. Most people, I find it through coaching and through consulting, and even through when I speak on the magic of self-love, most people are putting in a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort. Most people are not as lazy as people, you know, you hear people talking about, you know, people ain't putting in the work. A lot of people really are getting up every day, trying to live their best, trying to do their best, but they can't see the areas where they are leaking energy, leaking time, leaking attention, leaking focus, leaking money, right? So it's like when you have that electricity, that air conditioning running, and your house never gets cool enough because you can't see where the energy is being leaked out. You know, another example I have is if for those of you, particularly if you have like younger children or a pet, have you ever had like something really good to eat and you're like, yeah, I can't wait till the kids go to sleep, or yeah, I'm gonna put the dog in another room because I don't want the dog to see me eating, you know, this good thing, right? And here they come. As soon as you get something good, here they come staring at you wanting some. And it's like, this was supposed to be just for me, right? So you have something good, but in a not so good circumstance, right? And a lot of people have something good in their life. They have these good things, these good jobs, these good relationships, or these, you know, good family, good, you know, family who love them, a job that's decent, a business that's doing, you know, pretty well. You know, they're making ends meet, but the situation in which all of these good things are set up is not optimal. So again, it's like they're leaking energy, or you can't enjoy the good that you have because you know, out of guilt, or you feel like you've got to give to this person or give to that person. And it just leaves you drained, leaves you totally drained. You end up wasting time. And then what's worse is you could start creating excuses as to why you can't have anything, right? Again, going back to that example with the children, you know, sometimes as parents, you know, and I've said, and I've heard other parents say, like, these little crumb snatchers, I can't have nothing, but, you know, because so it's like an excuse because you have not set up your life to be able to manage and to have the good that you desire. So you're always feeling like somebody's taking something from you. Your energy is being drained, or you're wasting money, you know. This leads to a habit of doing, what I call doing, taking actions, doing things, quote, do, in hopes of being and becoming, right? So I'm gonna for example, I'm going to eat this food, I'm gonna give a little bit to the kids. They already had their food, but I'm gonna give them some of mine because, hopefully then they'll leave me alone. Or I'm going to give my energy in this relationship and, hopefully one day it will pan out for me and I will get the love that I desire. Or I'm going to go ahead and just overwhelm myself in my business, in hopes of one day it returning back to me. And so we do this thing where we start doing and doing and doing in a way that is imbalanced in the hopes that the other thing will then sow back into our lives. And a lot of times it doesn't happen that way. You know why? Because there's a difference between doing and being. Many of us have created the habit of just doing the things that make us look successful, make us look happy, make us look joyous, make us look like we're on the right path, but we have not discovered the art of being, of becoming. For example, I am a woman, right? I was born a girl, well, female. I've grown into a woman. I identify as a woman. And so I take on all of the, not only the wonderful things about a woman, but even some of the challenging things about a woman. For example, and this isn't live about, I know I've brought up children before, but this isn't a live about children and stuff like that. But I have experienced giving birth, which was not pleasant, right? There's a lot of pain, tears, blood, sweat, and tears, right? But I didn't say, oh, I'm not going to be a woman, so I don't, so I don't have to experience this, this pain of it, right? That was part of one of the things, not all women have children, but that was one of the things that is included if you choose to as a woman, right? And so a lot of times we say, I'm a do certain things without the being. But when you are being a person who is worthy of the good that you desire in life, then you be that person when it's good. You be that person when it's challenging. A lot of times we set conditions. I don't know if the childbirth thing was a good example, but a lot of times we set all of these conditions to consistently going after the life that we desire, or the birthright, our birthright, right? We set all of these conditions like, I'm only going to go after my birthright of joy, abundance, success, happiness, when things are easy, then I'm going to do the work. Then I'm going to put in the work. When things are easy, when things aren't challenging, but as soon as it's challenging, I'm not going to do it. Right. But somebody, maybe a better example is like an Olympian, right? Or an athlete who is consistent towards or dedicated towards their sport. They consistently train. They don't say, oh, I only want to train when it's about to be the Super Bowl, when I'm going to get all the recognition. No, they train in and out of season. They are an athlete. That is who they are. That is who they be. That's the being, right? They are an athletes in and out of season. And because that is who they are, then they do. So the doing is a product of the being. But so many people try to do, and then when it gets hard, they stop doing. And the reason why they stop doing is because they haven't adopted a state of being that keeps them in that state of doing, even when it gets hard, even when it gets challenging. And so a lot of people, there are many people who have a generally happy marriage, a generally happy career, a generally happy family life, business, anything that, even health, generally healthy, right? And generally good, but they don't push for their great, and generally good is fine if you can accept sometimes the feeling of being drained, or the feeling of being overwhelmed, feeling like those areas of your life are ruling you instead of you ruling them, or even feeling unfulfilled. I can't tell you the number of people, and this may be you, that I have come across and I've experienced in my own life of doing all the right things, getting just good enough, but still feeling unfulfilled in life. And that's why there's a saying that good is the enemy of great. Good is the enemy of great because you've settled, because good is just good enough. You've learned to just settle with that. Why? Because, it could be worse. So I might as well be happy with, just all right. I might as well be happy if, I'm doing really, really well in my career, but really, really poorly in my family, because at least I'm good at something, or I might as well be okay with, my body being okay, functioning in an okay way, as long as I'm not bad off, then, good, it's okay to be good, right? So often we settle for good. We settle for good because it's not bad enough, right? And so then you live a life of mediocrity, a life of just good, a life that is ultimately unfulfilling. And that is not the way to live. In my book, The Magic of Self-Love, I have an entire chapter dedicated to what I call the I can only be loved when disease. And you can replace the word love with a lot of other words, such as I can only be healthy when, I can only be successful when, whatever, right? But we oftentimes say, well, I can only be loved when, I get myself together, or I can only be successful when I've made $1 million. No, you're successful when you wake up every day and you are the person who embodies success, and then you do the work of a successful person. They go hand in hand. It's not just about doing, again, it's about being, right? And so, usually we are dependent upon people outside of ourselves, and circumstances outside of ourselves to validate when we are successful, when we can be happy. Let these people drain me of all my time, energy, and money. And then one day they'll say, oh, you were a good person, or you were, whatever, or I'll love you back. And then we'll feel successful. No. A person who is in the being state of success and the being state of happiness does not wait for other people and other circumstances to catch up. I'm already here. I'm waiting on you to get here. There's a song by Jay-Z. I want to say it was on the Blueprint 3 album, where it's called I'm Already Home. I think that's the name of the song, Already Home. And he's like, I'm already, I'm already home. I'm already great. I'm already successful. I'm waiting on y'all to see. I'm not going to lower my standard waiting for you all to see my greatness. I'm going to shine. And then through my shining, through my joy, through my success, through already understanding this about myself, then the world outside of me, people, circumstances, things have to level up to my level, to my standard, right? That is what I've seen in all of my coaching clients who have done the work. Those who have done that work, they are like, and again, like I have a client who's young. She's like 22, 23, and she has grown so much. I wish when I was 22, 23 that I was cognizant of doing that level of work that she's doing. And I've got to tell her, how marvelous she's doing, because she's really taking the time to really discover what matters most in her life, what is really important, because, from very early on, many of us learn to give our time, energy, effort, money to things that don't really matter, in hopes that, okay, if I do all this now, then maybe one day I will get the love and the success that I deserve, right? And how often do so many of us give our time, our energy, and money to things that ultimately don't matter, I have a client who discovered one of the things that matters most to him is his ability to make a contribution. Peace, Ashe, yes. His ability to make a contribution to his family, to his life. That's what really mattered most to him. He thought it was just money, right? He thought, we all think it's money. Like, I'll be successful when I get money, right? But I help people to discover what really matters most to you. Because if you think it's just money, or if you think it's just a successful career, and all those things are great. We need all of those things. But if you think it's just that, you will give your time and energy in a way that then doesn't build a holistically happy, healthy, abundant life. So one of the things that Another thing, oh, I wanted to give this example as well. I see also entrepreneurs who are very, very successful, but they are overwhelmed by the success that they have, that they are experiencing. And so then when that success happens, then everything else falls by the wayside. And that's not the most optimal way to go about life, right? That's not the most optimal way to experience the joy and the abundance, because abundance is not just money. It's abundance of health, abundance of joy, abundance of prosperity, abundance of peace of mind. Many people, there are a lot of wealthy people who would exchange a good portion of that money that they made, those millions that they made, just to have peace of mind. There are a lot of rich, unhappy people. So we want to be financially rich and happy, healthy in our body, abundant, full of joy and peace and love. That is the goal for a lot of people. And so if that is the goal for you, I highly encourage you, I invite you now to join me for Unlock Your Magic. Unlock Your Magic is a 90-minute intensive training. It is actually already recorded. It's a 90-minute intensive training for those who are ready to move from just their good to their great. Those who are going beyond just being inspired, being motivated, you're moving beyond just the inspiration and the motivation. You're ready to really step into your personal magic so that you can create the manifestations that you desire for your life. I come across a lot of people who love me when I'm inspiring them, love me when I'm motivating them. Ooh, inspiration, motivation. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, so here's the plan. This is the work. And it's like, oh, I just wanted the pep talk. It's like, well, you ain't gonna get to the vision that you have for your life through the pep talk. You get there through doing and by doing the work. And so Unlock Your Magic will be released tomorrow on February 26th in the evening, Eastern Standard Time by 7 o'clock. It will be released. And so if you want access to that, let me tell you what all it includes. It's a 90-minute intensive training, like I said, on exactly how to go from your good to your great. So in the first segment of the video, I talk about how to identify your personal magic. It's usually the thing that you do and love to do naturally, and just who you are naturally, what you bring to the room naturally. But it's also usually the thing that people drain you of, because you're just so open in that area. You don't realize that that's your personal magic. You think it's just some little thing, right? Because we've been trained to think that your talents, your gifts, your skills, even your personality, unless it's on a superstar level, then it's not really that big of a deal. But it is. And when you don't see it as a big of a deal, you will consistently allow people, jobs, career, your business, your children, everybody and everything to drain you of your personal magic, because you don't value it, but other people see the value in it. So they'll keep pulling. They'll keep pulling until until you recognize its value. So in the first segment, we go over, how to identify what your personal magic is. And it's probably not what you think it is, or it's probably deeper than what you think it is. And we'll also go over how to discover what actually matters most in your life. That's another thing, like I said earlier, that's another thing that a lot of people underestimate. They think what they think matters is not really what matters. And as a result, it goes back to that example I gave about the heating and air unit, right? You have all, that you're running your heat at optimal levels, but you're not getting warm enough. Why? Because it's leaking out through your windows. You got poor insulation, right? And so again, if you don't know what really matters, and I'll teach you how to discover that, then you'll keep giving your energy towards things and people and even good opportunities that are not aligned to what matters most to your purpose and your personal magic and your personal fulfillment. So that is all in the first segment of the 90-minute training. In segment 2, we go over exactly what to say yes to and what to say no to. That's another big one that people underestimate. One of the things that I've learned, even from some of my youngest clients, is that once they learn what to say yes to and what to say no to, it really revolutionizes their lives. So many of us are saying yes to people and circumstances just unnecessarily because we keep thinking that one day we'll get the reward, right? And so we spend months, days, years, decades saying yes to things we should say no to and no to things we should say yes to. And the reason why we do that is because what I'll go over in segment 1 is because we haven't recognized our personal magic and we don't really understand what matters most. So we're saying yes to things that matter, but not that matter most, right? And so we spend years giving over our yeses and our nos to the wrong things and the wrong people. And so I will teach you how to identify what to say yes and no to, and how to do so in a way that leaves you feeling empowered and in a way where you don't feel guilty. Because that's one of the things that people are challenged with the most is the guilt. It's the guilt. It's the guilt of saying yes, of wanting to say no, but they feel like they should say yes, or wanting to say yes, but then they're fearful of saying yes. They're fearful of, taking that leap and that gamble on themselves. So they say no to things that they should be saying yes to, right? Out of fear or guilt. And so, and then I'll also teach you how to, sometimes, because of whatever we're going through in that moment, there are times where we have to say yes to something temporarily until we can say no. And so I will train you, and vice versa. So I will train you on how to actually negotiate a deal where there's mutual benefit, so that you're not just saying yes and then losing everything, or just saying no and losing everything. You got to, if you must say yes or no, when you want to do the opposite for whatever reason, there are challenges in life where for a moment we may have to do that. Then I teach you how to do it in a way, or to negotiate a way where it's a win-win, where it's not where you're coming up short, where you're losing. And then in the third segment of this 90-minute training, I teach you the magic of self-care, which is more than bubble baths and getting your hair done and sleep and rest. That's part of it. But self-care is really caring enough about yourself to take the strategic actions that are aligned to your personal magic and your personal goals. I will actually teach you how to, once you recognize your personal magic and what matters most, what should you be doing today? What should you be doing by the end of the week, by the end of 30 days, right? And you will actually create strategic actions. I'll teach you how to create strategic actions and how to follow through on them that matter, that make sense, so that this year, 2021, can be the year where you accomplish goals, reach, obtain your desires, within a year. Some goals that you've been trying hard at for 2, 3, 4 years, maybe even a decade. You can do it this year. If you master this skill of strategizing what needs to be done and learning how to schedule what matters most this week, what to do this week, what to do in the next 30 days, what to do today, that will get you there. So that is the Unlock Your Magic, the 90-minute intensive training on how to go from your good to your great. That link is, I don't know, was in this video, or I'm also going to share this on YouTube. So check the description box. Yesterday, like I opened with, yesterday was my mother's birthday. And so I had a discount, a coupon code, UNLOCK25, capital U, UNLOCK25, to get $25 off of this intense training. But I'm extending that through tomorrow. So once this is released on the 26th, probably around 6 or 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, then that coupon code will go away. But if you want $25 off, you will put in that coupon code at checkout. I ain't giving refunds if you forgot. So make sure you do that to get $25 off. This entire 90-minute intensive training is $222. $222. And let me tell you, it is like having 4 private coaching sessions with me, but in a powerful 90-minute recorded video that you can go back, rewind, rewatch, take notes and do all of that sort of things. It is for those who are ready to do the work. Again, it's not for those who are, because I don't even coach people who just want to be inspired. I mean, you can just watch a video of mine, of just some inspirational whatever, what I'm saying? But I don't typically give my time to people who only want inspiration or only want motivation, right? That's part of it. But I give my time to people who are ready to do the work. And so this 90-minute Unlock Your Magic intensive recorded training is for those who are really wanting to know, what do I do so I can do it? Well, who do I have to be so I can be it? I'm ready. That is who this is for. And so if that is you, $222, and if you watch this in time, you get the coupon and the discount. is nothing compared to the breakthroughs that you'll have in your life, to the years that you will save in your life by not giving your energy and your time to things that really don't matter, so that you can actually not only be good and somewhat successful, but that you can have a holistic success, holistic happiness across the board in your life. Success is more than money. Happiness is more than just a feeling. We want to have that across the board in our lives. And so if that is you, I invite you right now, click the link that's in this video to register for Unlock Your Magic. Again, that becomes available on February 26th in the evening, Eastern Standard Time. You'll get the information sent to your email at that time once it has been released. If you're watching this before February 26th when it's released, put in the coupon code UNLOCK25. That's capital U, UNLOCK25, to get $25 off the total price. Now is the time to move from good to great. If you still have breath in your lungs, if you still have a desire in your heart, don't waste any more time. You already wasted enough time to giving the people, circumstances, things, and whatnot that just aren't fulfilling. It's a better way to do this. It's a better way to live your life, right? And so I want to train those of you. Again, this 90-minute session is like having 4 coaching sessions with me. And if you're not ready for private coaching, one-on-one coaching, then this is the a way to dip your toe in the water, and a way to have massive change, to really see what your potential is and what you can do and what you can have in this life. So again, click the link, register now, and until we speak again, I'm wishing you so much peace and love.